Russell. I'm the captain of District 14. And I'd like to welcome you all to our National Night Out event. The Community Service Office and the Crime Watch Unit put a lot of work in putting this together. And I'd like to acknowledge Kerry Ryan. She's head of the Crime Watch group citywide. They have a very busy night the next 2 nights, shopping in all the neighborhoods. I'd also like to thank Sergeant Sean Burns and all his staff from the Community Service Office. They do a great job all year long. They work well with the community. They go to all the community meetings, and they address any issues that come up. So they do a great job. I'd like to just now turn it over to our Mayor Marty Walsh. Thank you.
Thank you, Captain, and I want to thank you and Sergeant Burns and all the officers at D14. How about a nice round of applause for all the officers at D14? Thank you. I also want to thank the community for coming out today. There's a lot of great organizations here, and the seniors are here, and Father's here, Father Conley's here, Father Connor's here. Thank you very much for coming out today. We're also joined by the Chief of the MBTA Police is over here, Chief Green. Thank you, Chief, for being with us. We used to have a chief in Boston. We don't have a chief anymore. Now he's a commissioner over here, huh? And the commissioner's going to come up in a few minutes and say a few words. But I want to thank everyone for coming out. I also want to just introduce, you have great representation here. City Councilor Mark Siomo. Thank you, Councilor Siomo. State Representative Kevin Honan. Thank you, Representative. I'd like to thank Kevin. They just did the budget at the State House, and they just finished the session. And in the session, in the budget, we're able to get some additional funding for charter school reimbursement. So I want to thank you for that money, and appreciate it, because Councilor Flaherty and Asabi George are going to spend it pretty quickly on us. So I want to thank you. I also want to thank City Council Michael Flaherty, who's here with us, citywide City Council Michael Flaherty, and City Council Nisha Asabi George is here with us. We have State Representative Andrew Cavallo is with us today. I want to thank the Representative. Sheriff Steve Tompkins is with us today. Thank you, Sheriff Tompkins, for being with us today. And I want to thank all the elected officials. Just a few awardees, and I'm not giving the awards. Do they know who's getting the award? Do the awardees know who's winning? Okay. I want to thank the Crime Watch Group of the Year, Sisters of St. Joseph. Huh? You can't get a stronger, tougher Crime Watch group than that. Thank you, sisters. I also want to thank the Community Service Award, Bernadette Brewer. Thank you, Bernadette. Bernadette's getting the big award. She brought the whole team from GBH with her today. I want to thank you. And I just want to, just also thank the Boston Police Foundation for supporting today and making sure today could happen with funding. Thank you, Boston Police Foundation, for all your great work. Just a couple of announcements. We want to, crime stats compared to this time last year. Part 1 crime, 4% drop in residential burglaries. And I know that's been a big issue in the neighborhood, but I think last year we had a drop in it. We have another drop in it this year, so it's trending in the right direction. So I want to thank all of you. Robbery, aggravated assaults, and auto thefts are significantly down in the neighborhood of D14. So I want to thank the officers for their great work. And also, there was a shooting this past Saturday night on Hanover Street, and we're working on that to make sure that we don't have a common occurrence. I know that the captain and the officers are working on that. So again, I want to thank all of you for working with us. Community updates, we have Coffee with a Cop on Wednesday the 29th at Cafe Nero at 9 o'clock in the morning. The Boston Police Road to the Right Track Kayak Night is going to be Thursday the 9th at 5:30. Transportation Mobility Study, we have a Austin Brighton Transportation Mobility Study is underway. We have an open house on September 12th, and we're planning Austin Christmas underway. So I want to just thank all of you for that. Today's a special day. This is my 5th National Night Out as mayor, and this morning started special. We had a great commissioner who was a commissioner here for 5 years in Boston, and certainly this area loves him because he was the captain out in Brighton for a long time, D14. We kind of gave him back to you because he's not too far away. He's over at Boston College. So I want to thank the commissioner. But today we Commissioner Evans, so we can give him a clap. Today we swore in Commissioner Gross, and those of you that don't know Commissioner Gross, if you see his smile on TV, or you see his smile here in this park, that's who he is. He's somebody who cares about the kids. He's somebody who cares about the city. He's somebody who cares about community policing. And he cares about how do we improve the quality of life for so many people by lifting them up and not locking them up. And when he gave his speech today, I was looking at his mother the whole time, and you can see in his mother's eyes how proud she was of her son. And it's an amazing feat. He started as a cadet, rose to the ranks as an officer. He elevated himself through the ranks of the police department, was the superintendent night command. Then, under Commissioner Evans, became the chief of the police department. And then I had the good fortune of talking to him and asking him if he would serve as the next police commissioner in the city of Boston, and he willingly said yes. He is somebody that we should be very proud of in Boston. He's a person that loves the city. He loves his job. He loves his officers. He loves the community, and he's going to make an incredible police commissioner here in the city of Boston. I'd like to introduce you for the first time publicly at a public event here in Brighton, the Boston Police Commissioner, Willie Gross.
Thank you, Your Honor. Let's hear it for the mayor. Thank you, everyone. I've been in policing for 35 years, 2 years as a cadet, then 33 in uniform. And there's one thing I've never forgotten, where I came from and who raised me, and that is you from the community. So give yourselves a hand. Thank you. I even have a Brighton mom. Hi, Mom Honan. How you doing? Surprise. She's like, wow, I got a son. He's pretty big. You got to make a lot of cupcakes for me, Mom. But tonight's your night. You know, it's called National Night Out, and we celebrate the Crime Stoppers and the folks in the community, but this isn't something you do just one night. You do it each and every day, each and every night. So we're here to celebrate you and your commitment to watching out for others and your commitment to community policing. And I am proud to serve as the 42nd Police Commissioner. God bless Commissioner Evans. He paved the way for me. And we're going to carry on the good work that we've started under his administration. It will carry right on into our administration as well. And again, it begins with you making every day bigger and better. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Boston Police Foundation, I see Target in the back, I see the sheriff's folks, transit, thank you. Another thing, before I go, law enforcement in this Commonwealth, we work together. All right, it's not just about BPD, but it's about first responders. BPD, law enforcement, first responders, fire department, we're all together here to serve you. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, who's next? Sergeant Burns.
If we could have Bernadette up here. Bernadette, I know you're in the crowd somewhere. There she is. So what we're going to do now is, throughout the year, we work with a lot of groups in the Allston Brain community. And for National Night Out, working with my offices, we come up with a couple individuals, couple of groups that we bounce around and determine who we want to recognize for the great work that they do in the community and the great work and the collaboration they do with us here at the Boston Police Department in District 14. So for our Community Individual of the Year, it's going to be Bernadette Brewer.
That's my sister.
There she is. That's your sister.
She's wonderful.
So Bernadette, I'm going to read a little spiel here. Before I do, I just want to thank you. When I first came up here a few years ago, when they mentioned the individual, you were the first name that popped into my head, and I'm so happy that I was able to finally acknowledge you for the great work that you do and the work you do with us. So, Bernadette Brewer, Director of the Presentation Community Center, has been a key contributor to the betterment of the Allston Brain community. For the past 3 years, Bernadette has coordinated the Oak Square Farmers Market, which brings local, sustainable products into the community. Also in conjunction with District 14 and other local groups, Bernadette has been a key collaborator for several outdoor movie nights with residents. The Farmers Market and Movie Nights provides residents an opportunity to come together and meet officers and their neighbors. Bernadette's commitment and dedication to the community and willingness to collaborate with District 14 has truly made her a champion of the Austin Brighton community and made this community a safer place, without a doubt. So with that being said, congratulations, Bernadette.
Congratulations! Oh boy. Awesome.
Sorry.
Got a great one there.
Yeah. Before I go on to the next award, we'd also like to recognize EMS Chief Hooley. There he is. Thank you, sir, for everything you do. We also have a great relationship with EMS as well as Boston Fire. We can't do it without them, so thank you, sir.
Mommy, we're back there.
Next up is our Crime Watch group of the year. You wouldn't think of this group as a Crime Watch, but they truly are, and it's the Sisters of St. Joseph's with Sister Pat and the sisters over in the corner. Yeah, we'll go over here. We can keep them in the shade.
Let me see you, B.
I just want to say, I grew up in South Boston. I went to Gate of Heaven Church, along with the Sisters of Notre Dame. My first role models at school were the Sisters of St. Joseph's, and I find it amazing that many years later, in a different neighborhood in the city, I won't say how many years, sister, but many years later that, once again, we at the Boston Police Department, District 14, we feel the impact of what you and the sisters do, and we're truly appreciative of this. When I think of what you're doing with the literacy program, I think of, the words inclusion and compassion come to mind. And for those groups that sometimes need the most help, I know the sisters are there to step up, and we're truly appreciative of that. So here's a little spiel for you, sister. For over 30 years, and under the guidance of the Sisters of St. Joseph's, the Literacy Connection Program has been committed to teaching low-income adult immigrants English as a second language. Also through the program, the sisters prepare individuals for U.S. citizenship. The program has students from over 30 countries and provides free of charge an environment where the students feel safe and accepted. This truly is a program of inclusion, an ideal shared by the Boston Police Department. District 14 is working with the sisters to meet and greet with students and provide an opportunity to interact with our police officers. The sisters' willingness to collaborate and share with District 14 and other community groups is a wonderful example of what makes Austin Brighton a special place. For these reasons and more, we would like to honor the Sisters of St. Joseph's with the 2018 Community Service Award.
Justice for Jesus.
Just a couple of things, along with some of the folks who were already thanked. I'd like to go through the list. First of all, I'd like to thank the Boston Police Foundation as our primary sponsors for this event. It's truly, we're extremely grateful for what they do for us. So a couple of folks I'd just like to recognize. First off, I'd like to recognize Joanne Barber from Charlesville. Joanne, right there. Thank you, Joanne. Joanne provides a ton of food for us. We're so appreciative. Thank you, Joanne. We'd also like to thank the... Oh, wait, Frank. Where's Frank? Frank. Did you want to call them up? We got a couple other special things we'd like to hand out as well.
We're lucky enough in this area to have an awful lot of people that volunteer and help us out with a bunch of different things. But one of the things that we've had this past 2 years
is two beautiful cakes that have been made, one by Scott Coates up at Presentation Rehabilitation Center. And would like to have Scott come up, and at the same time, he's going to bring a cake that he made just specially for this event. So if we can just have everybody take a couple of minutes, we really just want to give Scott this certificate of appreciation for all the work he's done. He's made cakes for a bunch of different organizations across the city, across the district, and it's really, really, really brought a lot of people together. So we really appreciate it, and this is on behalf of Captain Paul Russell. Oh, pleasure. Thank you very much. And no, we'd like to, if you guys can bring out the cake, we'd like to have it out before the commissioner leaves. Yeah. And the other person we want to recognize is Millie McLaughlin. Millie McLaughlin just retired after, how many years, Millie? 26 years at the Veronica Smith Senior Center.
And probably another 8 now.
Millie's been fantastic as far as helping us out, bringing the seniors out to a bunch of different events, really, really giving us the space and the facility up here, so we really appreciate it. And in honor of you retiring, we wanted to recognize your great work. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.